Man, am I excited to be recording this video. It's been a long time. Actually, it hasn't been. It's only been about, I don't know, maybe 3 months since I started working on this project. But you know, when you're looking forward to something, the time just seems like forever. So I am super excited to show you what I've been working on. Just to give you a little background, so this is a project to bring the capability of Bitcoin Lightning payments to local small business merchants. Actually, not even small business, I'm talking micro business, mom and pop shops. And so that's what I'm working toward, providing the tools for that and the convenience of that now, before they even know they need it, so that when they need it, it's already in their hands. Okay, so that's the plan, and what I want to show you here in this video, I want to introduce the app that I've developed, or better said, that I am developing to accomplish that. Now, my first iteration of this app looked very different. It was very capable, very technical, had a lot of features, and could do pretty much anything they wanted. But when it came time to show it to people, I quickly realized that it was too complicated and it would take too much training and too much explaining. And there is definitely a lot of Bitcoin education, or even just sound money education, that needs to take place, and a bit of technical explanation as well. But I realized that if I'm going to be successful in this, I've got to meet the people where they're at and bring them value today without first having to justify why I'm trying to impose a different system on them. So this is following a little different approach. It's the approach to meet them where they're at, and at the same time put in their hands the capability to easily hop over to Lightning the moment they decide. So let's jump right into what this app does. First of all, in meeting with the local business owners, what I realized is that most of them have virtually nothing in the way of equipment for doing point-of-sale transactions. The only thing they have is a scale, an electronic scale, thankfully, that gives them a readout in grams or kilograms. And perhaps in addition to that, also a desktop calculator. Just a simple, basic calculator. And some of them don't even have that, and they just use a calculator app on their phone. So what you're looking at here on the screen is just that. It's a calculator app on their phone. Almost everybody has a mobile phone, and that provides an excellent way in where they can just use this calculator app, which is simple, intuitive, and they already know how to use it. There's no training necessary. So for example, when you go into a store to buy something, they will just punch in the price right there on the calculator. Let's say you pull up a couple of products. One is 12,000. So we'll just enter that, and let's just say the next one is 11,000. We'll enter that, and I don't know, maybe another product for 5,000. Now here they include the taxes, and so they always use round numbers because they're always dealing with cash, and it just makes life easier. But of course, you know, the calculator calculates whatever you put into it, doesn't matter. But that's just how they do it here. So that's why I'm using round numbers here. So then you see right there at the top of the screen, you've got your subtotal, 28,000. And at that point, and in a most basic scenario, that's all they need, right? Now they can tell you, oh, that'll be 28,000, and the customer hands over the cash, and they give them the change, and done. And so they can stop right there and just hit the check mark in the upper right corner to save the transaction, and it's all done. And you can see that turned into a little back arrow, which will bring up the historical transactions that have been saved. All right. And if you want to throw away a transaction, you can just hit the trash can in the upper left. And of course, that one was already saved and it remains saved. So you can just hit the back button again and see it again. And there it is with the subtotal. All right. Super, super simple. Okay. Now, here's where it gets better. Okay, let's say this mom and pop is training their son or daughter to run the register. And the son or daughter may not be quite as comfortable with the money and the amounts and the different denominations of the bills and coins and so forth. So in this case, the customer is going to hand over $30,000 in cash, and the cashier can just hit this cash button here in the data entry bubble and type in 30,000. All right, and now you can see the display has been updated with the finalized subtotal there and the cash paid. And then up top, you see that there's a change due of 2,000. So again, the cashier can just hand over the change and done. Save the transaction and ready for the next customer. So the point here is it's simple and effective and does not oblige the cashier to do more than is absolutely necessary so that it doesn't slow them down. Now, let's go back to that previous order. And by the way, if we go back again, you'll see the original one that we saved is also still there. But let's just go back to the previous order. And let's say the cashier is, like I said, a youngster in training or something like that, and they need a little help calculating the change. Now, in this case, 2,000 is very simple. It would not be a problem, but you can simply hit this cash button again to say you're done with the cash entry. And it says the change due is 2,000, and then it shows you visually that all you have to do is give them one 2,000 bill. All right, now just to kind of show how this can add value, let's throw that away and let's go back to our original one here. And let's say that the cashier receives a $20,000 bill and a $10,000 bill. You can simply add both. It'll do the calculation for you and give you the same change due. And you turn that off and you're right back there. In fact, you can even do, let's do that again. I'm going to go back to this order here and put in my cash. You could say they gave me 5 $2,000 bills and a 20,000. And it adds that up just the same, and turn that off and you get your change due. Perfect flexibility and offering but not requiring possibilities that make life easier. All right, so I'm going to throw that one away, and I want to show you one other example here that kind of illustrates a little more the benefit. So let's just say, well, we can go back to our previous order there, but let's add an item. Let's say we want to purchase some produce that is, that is 25,000 per kilo times, and they weigh it on the scale, and it comes out to 350 grams. All right, so there, that's added right up to the total, and you can see it shows the calculation and the subtotal there, just as one would expect. It just does all the things in a convenient way that's very intuitive and flexible for the cashier. And now we have a subtotal of 36,750, and let's just say we go over to cash and they pay 40,000, and you'll see how the change breakdown is calculated. Here it shows that the change due is 3,250, and that means returning to the customer a 2,000 bill, a 1,000 coin, and 2 100 coins. And that's the smallest coin unit that is in use here, and so it rounds to the nearest coin in that case, sometimes up and sometimes down. All right, so now you'll notice at this point that the cursor stopped flashing, and basically all the buttons are inoperative because this order has been completed. There's nothing more that can be done with it. So I'm going to save that, and again, you can recall that at any moment. Now, let's go back to this order, and in this case, I'm going to show you something else. So in addition to our 350 grams of whatever it was that we had there, just to kind of get back to where we were, let's say we don't want to have to enter in the price every time, or perhaps we just don't remember the price because, again, like if it's the son or the daughter running the operation, they may not be familiar with the prices. So in that case, they come over here to the emoji icon in the data entry bubble and tap that, and it gives them a list of items that they can select from. And so right at the top here, we have all of our vegetables and stuff like that. Let's just say they choose bread, and I don't know what that is. We'll just say 18,000, okay, is the price for a loaf of bread. All right, so we'll just enter that in. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that it was no more difficult than it would have been without selecting the bread, right? But now the price of bread is recorded. And so I'm going to save that order, okay? And I'll show you that if I go to a new order now and somebody chooses and somebody buys bread, I just punch that in and the price is there immediately, hit enter, and it's in. The cashier doesn't even have to remember the prices now. All right, so let's go back to this order, and I'm going to show you how this also works with items that are charged according to weight. So let's say we go over here to a, I don't know, tomato, and let's just say, I don't know exactly what the price is at the moment, but let's just say it's $25,000, and then we're going to put in the weight. So in this case, let's just say 220 grams. All right, and there we've got the calculation, and we've just now, in so doing, entered the price of the tomatoes. And so that will be something that you could actually just go through and do ahead of time, one time for all your items, so that the prices are in the database. But if not, you simply do it as you go, and it's no extra work, but it gives you the benefit that, okay, I'm going to save that and just show you that in a new order now, you click tomatoes, and it gives you the, oops, sorry, I hit that by accident. It gives you the price of the tomatoes per kilo times, and just to prevent you from accidentally entering it without the weight, it warns you, it alerts you. But then you put in the weight of, I don't know, let's just say 251 grams, and there you go, it's put on your order. So you can see how simple, quick, and efficient this system is. And in a future video, I will show you how the selection of items here can be customized. And by the way, you can just go back anytime you need to erase that, or just pick another item. All right, so let's go back to our previous order there, and let's just say we're going to pay now with 100,000 bill. All right, and done. You see there, in this case, we've got a lot of change to disperse, and there's the breakdown right there, both bills and coins, in a way that's intuitive for the cashier. And everything in this app is configurable also, so I will show you that in a future video, but I just wanted to show you in this video the basic operation and how this puts in the hands of mom and pop shop owners a convenient tool that helps them today, that gives them a benefit today while they're still using the fiat system. And meanwhile, they can be learning both through this app and through personal outreach on the part of the Bitcoin community here, so that they will understand the value of being able to transact with Lightning. And that I will also demonstrate in a future video. So stay tuned. This is an exciting project. It really gets me fired up, and I am super happy to be able to show you this first introductory video to show you what I've been working on. And if you like this, if you would like to use it in your area with the settings adjusted, of course, for your particular currency and use case, please reach out to me. And I am looking for sponsors for this project and for my outreach efforts here in my local community. So if you can sponsor this project, which is a worthy cause of empowering people to become sovereign over their wealth and learn about the importance of sound money, I am looking for sponsors. So please reach out to me and pass this on to anyone you know that could either benefit just from using the app or who would be willing to sponsor me. Thank you, and it's been a pleasure to do this demonstration, and I look forward to the next one. Until then, stay the course, keep teaching people about sound money, and help them according to the principles of the new kingdom.